Hi, Joe. Welcome in. How are we doing today?
I'm all right.
Hi. Well, a little introduction. My name is Kana. I am one of the therapists here. So I kind of just help people talk about what's going on. And that's kind of like what we're doing today, just really getting to know each other, what's going on. I do have to begin with the fact that anything you say in this room stays in this room unless you have intent to harm yourself or others, then I do have to go outside this room.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I don't have any of that.
okay. What brings you in to see me?
I I need to get connected with some kind of a treatment program for heroin. I started using, I got out of my PO. I'm on parole and my PO is telling me I have to go into a program. I got out of prison a couple months ago and I started using again and I can't stop on my own.
So, from what I'm hearing is we recently got released from incarceration. We have a parole officer who's stating that we need to get into a program. So, by the sounds, this is kind of mandated for part of your parole.
I mean, yeah, he's telling me I have to do this but I know I need to do this and it's not like I don't want to. Like I was in prison for 10 years and I mean, you can use in prison easier than you can use on the streets, really. And in the beginning I did. I was using and then, I met some guys in there and they were doing the right thing and I just connected with them and I started going to the meetings in there and I got, involved with the people who were not using and I was able to stop and I didn't use. I had like 6.5 years in prison. And I know it was in prison, but still, like I said, I could have got it if I wanted it. So I had 6.5 years without using and then I got out and everything just went to shit and it's not easy out here. I couldn't find a place to live and I can't find a job. Nobody wants to hire someone. Nothing that I did in there is worth anything. And I just was like, fuck it. And I started using.
So, by the sounds, a lot of things kind of posed barriers for you. The law, not able to find housing, kind of the employment, and by the sounds, it kind of made it feel kind of hopeless. Kind of like, what's the point? Like, I did all this for nothing, kind of like you said, or whatever.
Pretty much. I mean, I did like you can just do your time in prison, but I was like, all right, once I decided to get clean and change my life, I was like, all right, let me do some things in here. And I got mad certificates. I got, like I did all the things. I'm really good on computers. I got all the certifications. But nobody's hiring me for a computer job. So then I was like, well, I guess I'll try to be like a stock, like stock shelves or something at Walmart. And even they don't want to hire you, you know, because you got this background. So none of it matters.
And I can understand the frustration of having all these qualifications and stuff. It is frustrating to not have someone acknowledge all that we've done and get kind of almost like, paraphrase of a smack in the, metaphorical smack in the face, you know, but
Yeah.
it also is important that we remember that we did do that. So obviously we were able to accomplish something, even though it doesn't seem like, right now it's not really worth it. We gotta acknowledge the wins when we have them.
Yeah. I remember when I was doing that in prison, it did feel real good. Like it felt good every time I got that next certification, every time I passed that next level. But now it just feels like it was for nothing. But when I was doing it, it did feel good. I don't know. And I can't keep it together. I can't, like I said, I couldn't find a place to live. So I met this girl and I moved in with her and that didn't work out. And then I met another girl and moved in with her. And honestly, they were a mess. They weren't people I wanted to be with or spend the rest of my life with. It was just because I needed a place to stay, but it just doesn't work out because they're not people I want to be with, you know what I mean? And then I meet the next one who looks a little bit better, not physically, but for me. So I just move in with them, just to have a place to stay, but it all turns out the same.
To kind of
But of
hop
course, me using doesn't help. And I know that.
and say, so kind of hopping from relationship to relationship as a means of survival, not really a means of connection, by the sounds.
Pretty much.
Whatever.
None
And
of
if
them mean none of them mean nothing.
by the sounds, what made you end up relapsing? Just purely what you've been discussing about the hopelessness, or would you say there was other factors involved?
No, it was all that. It was, like I had applied when I got out, I came home and I went right on it, you know what I mean? Like I just started putting in applications and wouldn't get callbacks. And then for the couple of callbacks I got, like for an interview or whatever, I didn't get the jobs, and then I couldn't find an apartment, and then I got in a fight with this girl. I was staying with this girl and I got in a fight with her, and my PO was annoyed with me because my address kept changing, and they were like, nope, you're supposed to stay in the same place, but if the female doesn't let you stay there. My mom and my sister um are trying to be supportive of me, but they don't live in a place that I can stay with them. Like my mom is in housing for elderly, and my sister just I can't stay with her. And so it's not an option for me to go stay with them, so I have to like find my own way. And it was not having a place to stay, my PO being on my ass, not being able to get a job, like all of the things. Every place I turned, there was just a shut door. So the drug man's door was open.
I say there's only one door open, and
Yep.
well, I am glad that you acknowledge that you do, need someone to talk to because you can't stop on your own, whatever, because that takes a lot of strength in itself, or whatever. So it sounds like a lot of feelings of being hopeless, of like you said, I have all this stuff, but like, and I try to catch the ground running, but nobody really was giving me a break and giving me the courtesy. What about connecting to resources to help with the housing instability? Like you mentioned, your mom has the housing for elderly. Is there any programs you're aware of on that
In
have?
her housing, they don't allow felons. Clearly, I'm a felon. I did 10 years. You know what I'm saying? They're not, I mean, the housing people she works with isn't an option. Um, there are some programs like reentry. They told me to go to reentry when I got out, and I didn't, I was like, I got this. Right? I got some good stuff now. I'm clean. I got these certifications. I'm gonna be able to do some things. And I know reentry kind of like starts everybody out on the same level, like, oh, let's put you in the VOA and let's get you a job at the places you go every morning, and it's just like day by day work, you know what I'm saying? Like not a real job. And I knew I could do more than that. So I was like, nah, I don't really need their services or whatever. So I never connected with them. But I guess, since it didn't work out my way, maybe I'm still eligible. I can check.
I say, and that's just an idea to get you some additional support, you know, beyond what I am able to provide for you. It doesn't hurt to have multiple eggs in our baskets and stuff. Um, and I understand it is frustrating when a program is we all treat everyone the same, and it seems like that program doesn't have a lot, by the sounds of individualization or like very like personalized to the person or whatever. So like for someone like you might need a little hands-on, but not much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
While other people might need like almost their hand like held as they do it.
Right.
All
I
right,
just know I gotta get this monkey off my back before I can do anything. I need to get this heroin under control.
okay.
Not under control. You can't control heroin, but I gotta stop.
And that is something that during our time together we can work on, implementing maybe some different skills to almost compensate or replace the heroin. Definitely, we do have some services here too that can, help alongside me. I'm willing to talk to you. It sounds like we have a lot of like frustrations with like the system and the barriers it puts up, and I acknowledge that they are there and they suck. Um,
Hmm.
they prevent people more than they help people sometimes. Um, and we can work on that, work on some skills to advocate for ourselves and build up our sense of worth.
All right.
Anything else you want to talk about today?
I mean, those are the things, those are the big things that I gotta work on right now.
Okay. And that's completely understandable. We have a game plan. Like I said, I can assist in finding maybe some resources to help with the housing, help with, the job search, because I have a list of resources I can provide as well. We can work on, the heroin use. We can work on the feeling of hopelessness during our time together and really like process everything because it sounds like we've been through a lot and maybe we have a lot we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
how does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Alrighty. I will gather all the information I need for next time. We'll probably get through a bit more questioning next time. And I will be in contact to schedule next meeting, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for coming in.
All right. Thank you.